Ice on the buoy. No ice on the water. It's been too windy last night. Another morning starting off around 20 degrees, and our backyard is unrecognizable. Let's go check it out. 8:20 a.m. Saturday, February 22. Steve, coming? Yeah, need a special invitation? Come on, let's go. Not in a hurry Saturday, huh? All right, we'll see you out there. There are no workers out there this morning, Steve. Come on out. You're gonna see what happened to the yard. Rex already saw it yesterday, so he's not totally shocked, but I bet he forgot already. Can you jump up and down? 1, 2, 3 times, and whoops. Yes, look at that. No problem. Strength through adversity. We'll just go with that old cliche. Things change and you adapt, right? Let's see how Steve adapts. This is Steve's first try. There he goes. No problem. He sees this as a runway. I'm going to run away, he says. So, yeah, there's been a slight change to the backyard here. Steve, he's like, he wants to explore. They put up this fence for our safety so we don't fall off our own cliff. So we've got slush waves this morning. It's another freezing morning. I'm getting kind of tired of having to put on all these layers every day and deal with all the ice. What about you? If I'm not skiing, I wouldn't mind starting my garden. Here's the temperature map this morning at 7 a.m. Boston, 19 degrees, just about the same as it's been every morning. But the wind's gusting to 24 miles an hour. Kind of thought the wind was going to let up a little bit. The wind did let up at lower elevations north. Lebanon, New Hampshire, goose egg at 0. And calm. And the Adirondacks underneath the center of the northern edge of the high this morning in parts of New York, it was 10 below 0. So we are the coldest corner of the nation this morning with the old cold high going across the southern and eastern United States. It's only a little bubble high here in the northeast, and we still have that pressure gradient left over. Those isobars in eastern New England, that little 30 something or 1027 high over New York, and right underneath the center of that high, that's where you get the calm air this morning. And in the southeastern United States, under the center of the old big cold high, it's the 7th day in a row with record cold temperatures this morning. From Nebraska to Texas, I think Lawton, Oklahoma was about 12. East to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, all having record cold. But that's going to reverse dramatically. On the backside of these highs, that's where you get the storms, right? All right, look how tied up Steve is. We should have known this was going to happen, but I can't let him go. So I'm going to try and free Steve up a little bit here. Time out. All right, I entangled Steve. We didn't ask for all these 2x4s. They said they had to put them up. They have to. We've all got orders. There is going to be a drop-off, though, starting next week right here. And we get a new retaining wall. For those of you that haven't been paying attention, we get a whole new construction project here on the Weymouth coast. And so this is more than just a weather forecast. This is a show about nature and weather, cats and dogs, and the weatherman's environment out the door, wherever I am every day. And I don't know, I must have been about 25 different doors so far this year. There's the slush that's accumulated on the shore there where the northwest wind comes on, and Cape Cod Bay is full of ice. Boy, if you can get down there to Rock Harbor, somewhere in there, not quite 2015 type ice, actually nowhere near, but this is the coldest stretch of weather we've had this time of year since a decade ago. I was looking at some of the top 5 or bottom 5 coldest, and 2025 for the last 4 days is about 5th in a row in Boston when it comes to top 5, February 17 to 21. And so it's real, and the heating bill is exorbitant, and we're going to get a little break on that, especially here. Well, not especially here, especially across much of the nation south of here, is what I should have said. The storm in the northwest, that's going to break into pieces and cross the nation. That's going to be very challenging. Advisories, watches, and warnings this morning for very dangerous avalanche danger in the mountains of Oregon and Washington. They say heavy snow and rain on top of the old dry snow is creating incredible hazards for backcountry out there in the Northwest. The satellite image is overwhelmed by the storm over the Atlantic Ocean. Wow, that's that bomb cyclone number 3 that we had in the last week in the Western Atlantic. It's now in the North Central Atlantic. It's massive, and it kind of dwarfs the one that's coming into the Northwest. And also on the south side of these highs, we got to watch that system in the Gulf. From Texas to Louisiana to Florida, there's going to be a potent storm crisscrossing that waterway over the next 2 days. So why don't I get just right to the forecast now? Using the Euro model, none of them have been too consistent. Not too pleased with any of them. Lots of little things, maybe a big thing in there that we can't quite see yet. All right, so here we go. There's the high pressure system over the southeastern United States and here in the northeast going off. The wind should let up for a time today before picking back up from the south and southwest tomorrow. And it is going to snow in the mountains of northern New England. Actually, it doesn't really show up on the Euro, so why don't I stop the Euro here for a second. There's a cold front coming at northern New England, and here's what the NAM 3K does with that. Starting tonight at sunset, there's the snow coming across southeastern Canada, and the higher terrain of Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and parts of northern Maine are snowing pretty hard tonight, and that's going to slowly decay. That's a cold front that's just going to come into northern New England and fall apart, but it's going to leave you 3 to 6 inches of snow in the mountains. In the spine of the Green Mountains, you get up to Jay Peak, probably more than 6 inches, but even Cannon and Sugarloaf should pick up some pretty nice snow. Speaking of those mountains, why don't I share a view this morning? How about Saddleback? I haven't been to Maine since, I don't think, COVID. I was, the ski resorts were closing behind me in Maine 5 years ago this month. Saddleback has a little snow on the picnic table this morning. Yeah, so there was a little dusting, and the groomers are going to be outstanding, and the trees are even good too. A little sampler of the trees here from Josh yesterday. Jay. T-Rex tangled up. What is it, Rex? I'm trying to do the forecast. I know this is going to be a problem. You got to come this way, Rex. This way. Come on. There you go. All right. Oh boy, adversity. Strength through adversity, right? Time out. Okay, untangled Rex. Steve's over here. It's going to be frustrating. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do the forecast right now. Go back to that Euro, pick it up tomorrow. High pressure is building north of New England. So it's cold for the northeastern United States, but everyone else is warming up. And there's going to be a powerful low, part of that storm coming in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, and I got to show you the wide view here, because look at this Gulf. From Texas to Louisiana to Florida, that's looking almost like a tropical storm. And it's not, but it's going to be potent rainmaker there. And then low goes to our north here on Tuesday. There's a warm front, and southern New England may try and get to 50 degrees with a little mix of rain or snow showers coming through Tuesday. And then that front's going to just stall out over here, and it's going to be a tough call what happens after that. There had been some signs of a major coastal coming in Thursday, but now it looks more like a flat wave coming in with just a little bit more rain and snow. And what's new? It's a Thursday. It's a moving target every week. And then Friday, not windy and cold, because the low is still off to our west a little bit on an Arctic front that comes in here Friday night and Saturday. Oh my goodness, that's a wave on an Arctic front there, and it's a potential storm. Yesterday it showed a nor'easter for next weekend. Today it shows more of a inside runner, but it's so cold. Could snow with a southwest wind, and then behind that, oh my goodness, the Arctic hounds are released next Saturday night and Sunday. And that's actually a fairly high confidence forecast that we're going to have almost a wayward polar vortex coming into southeastern Canada to open up March like a lion. And we freeze it now out at Monday, March 3rd, 240 hours. Wow, that 510 line, that's the Arctic air is down along the south coast of New England. All those black lines are isobars, really windy and cold. And a 1037 high over the Great Lakes, that's near record cold again, but this one's going to be aimed more at the Midwest and New England, opposed to the last one, which was over the plains. And the storm just off the map looks like another bomb cyclone over the North Atlantic. I'm talking 10 days out. So the pattern is loaded. And there's no way to try and place exactly where those lows and those fronts are going to be, but wintry picture is coming back after a bit of a melting period over the middle of the week. I can show you the Boston meteogram, what all that looks like when you put it in graphic form. And it shows today being mostly sunny. These clouds should evaporate. And the temperature is still only about 30, but then we start to warm it up. Another cold night tomorrow night with that kind of cold front and high pressure off to the east of New England. Then we really warm it up and a lot of clouds, but 45 to 50 now the guidance is going for on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So everything's going to turn into a muddy mess around here before that mix comes in here Thursday, and then we gradually decline. Then very on the far right down there, that's the temperature going down again, back sub-freezing around March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So this will be a muddy mess right here. They're going to dig it all up anyway. This is going to be right here is going to be where the base of the block goes to build our new wall, and the wall is going to go out like that and then down like that. And those blocks are down the road. I can show them to you. All that structure down there, all that stuff is going to stay down there. So the Enmore, that's the end of the weather forecast. The Enmore is just what's going on in my environment around here with all the machines coming and going and our yard shaking and this mat going into the driveway yesterday. So literally earth moving happening beneath our feet. It felt like little earthquakes all day long. And I'm not pleased with all these 2x4s, but they went through the energy to put them up. So if I took them down, they came back here on Monday, they'd be like, what are you doing? Come on, leave it to us. We know what we're doing. These 2 bushes, yeah, everyone says, we hope you don't lose those bushes, but they're going to put them over there in the worm farm, and maybe they'll live and maybe they won't. I don't know. But there is some sentimental value, huh, Doug? Put in this Alberta spruce for his Uncle Roger a couple decades ago. All right, Steve, I got to put some seed in the bird feeder, and here's the Enmore from yesterday. Talk to you tomorrow.
Patty the tracker, he goes, oh, those look like porcupine tracks. Zoom. Hey, man, what's up? What are you doing up there?
Here comes the sun through the clouds. There'll be some more melting, and I think it's just cold enough to keep the icicles going today. Maybe tomorrow morning before we start melting all this stuff. Another shipment of, I've learned the term, crane mat coming to the backyard today. See some blue sky over there. And more icicles. 9:30 a.m. Friday, February 21st. I'm gonna skip the time lapse this time and just show you what's going on here in the front yard. It's called crane decking. Big, huge mats stapled together. Yeah. The earth is shaking. The ground is quaking. Wake up, North Weymouth, wake up. Yeah, actually it's pretty close to 10 o'clock in the morning. Everyone should be awake. Indeed. A good congestion over here. Some more crane mats, some more boulders. Those are the things they're dropping in the backyard that are shaking the house. Not dull. Sensory overload continues. And the weather, don't forget the weather. Meanwhile in the back, pumping the water out of the ditch. Continue construction of the revetment. Clearing skies. Total blue sky now, just past 11. And so that means a strong February sun is melting any snow that you have left on your roof. And here I don't have very much left, but how about Brian on his roof a couple days ago in Stowe? Oh my goodness. Ice dam season is here. And it's going to stay cold, especially in the north and especially at night. Well, this is how the crane mat is being transported from the back of the flatbed. Doosan loader. Down Bailey and Regatta Road. I guess we should go see what's going on in the backyard now. I guess they're coming around the corner, regardless of what's on the ground. That chair down there by the robin, you can't see the robin, can you? That chair's there because there's ice there. I kept slipping on it. I'm gonna move that chair. We're gonna watch this time-lapse duel down in the ditch down there in the revetment and the backyard concourse being installed. What happened to my camera? It turned by itself. It's possessed. Darn, missed it. Of course, as soon as I turned off my time lapse, he showed up with another piece of the concourse. He moves it around like it's a popsicle stick. Let's get that little blade down there. And the gripper. That's Dennis. He's one of the foremen there. Luciano Construction. Hey Dennis, it's Tim from Dennis. I think I might have said that to him about 10 times already. And you got his partner down there with the Komatsu. So you get a cat in the yard and a Komatsu down the beach. TK writing a J blog. D53 in a row with snow. 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. We're going for 60. There may be a raindrop in there somewhere. Definitely some raindrops in there. What's that one carrying? The pump? Yeah, that's the pump. They pumped out the hole, they filled it in with rocks and mud, and now maybe calling it a day? No, they don't call it a day till 3. Walking it. Sorry, Steve and T-Rex, you're losing your playground out there. I'm gonna have to get you some new shoes. It's my tripod. I was trying to make a time lapse, but it wasn't quite working out. Back up, TK. Making way. Doot, 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 That's how you move that snow. Yeah. Piece of cake. Thanks, Dennis. Okay. This is the door. We go out every morning right here. I should have done a time lapse, but I was using my phone to make the J blog. How much farther do you need to go? Do I need to move that garden right now? Build the road right there. Seawall right there. Bunch of mush in the water right there. And total blue sky. Arctic air, February sunshine. It's still finger freezing cold. Whew. Forsythia. Bye-bye. Sorry, birds. I'll make more. Think I should be out there listening? Hey guys, what are you working on today? This is the backyard up here in Weymouth. Not much to see. Got a guy raking the yard for us in the back there. It's all good. Just saw an eagle. There he is. Can you hang around until I park the car? He's gone. Way out there. And the regular cat nap insert of the ongoing backyard. And there's our new backyard. And I like watching the water come back in to where they worked. Filling in the holes with water that they're going to pump out, although it's a Friday, so they're not going to pump it out tomorrow. But unrecognizable back there. And there's the hole they were working in today right there. And there's our slush ice. And you can see the muck mixed out all the way out into the channel there. The tide went out and tide's coming back in. I ended up with 0 clouds this afternoon, but it's still windy and cold. 3:30. Get some white caps. A lot of sediment in the water. I wonder where that came from. And why don't we watch the tide come in for a few minutes and fill that hole made by the crew today. You can see how the sediment moves too with the incoming tide. Better in than out. It's freezing out. 33 actually, just 1 degree above freezing. That was 45 minutes. Look at that. It's a combination of slush, ice, mud, muck. And poor birds over there. Those trees are coming down Monday. Let's go out there and feed the birds. They took the bird feeder down off the hook. 4:30. This is going to be Rex's first time running out the door with this structure in the backyard. It's a little emotional, I think. And what? Over the top. Right. No problem. Right, Rex? We'll adapt. Over the holes and to the edge. Yeah, mind the holes with a couple of gaps. It's going to take some getting used to. At least we got higher sun. It's still freezing. Freezing Friday. Freezing Friday winds have been a regular thing this season, haven't they? All these Thursday storm threats. It looks like the next 2 Thursdays also, T-Rex. Oh boy. Yep. So all this is going to be dug up. Long shadow. And there's the muck. And what else? Blue sky. Ferries coming and going. Spring is right around the corner. Like I said, behind that corner. All right, so why don't we just call this a day? T-Rex. Steve's probably wanting to come out here too. Yeah. So this fence is for our protection. I think it's just code. Because there will be a cliff right here on the side of the fence. Okay, T-Rex, this is our new out the door environment. We're gonna have to get used to it. Just for this cold, we're almost done with that. We're getting used to warm weather. All right, play us out, Piano Man. Time lapse of the clouds leaving. And the moon setting on Cape Cod. Nice moon. No, I don't think it was on Cape Cod. time lapse of Weymouth too. Turn that camera so you can see the work in the backyard. Right next week. Clouds departing, sunshine, and freezing cold day.